Happy Monday, guys. A Monday that was so close to being so much happier for us Blues. That late chance, most notably, by Tom Davies that came off the post and, yeah, could have got us our first derby win for a long time, but it wasn't to be. But it finished 0-0 yesterday in what was a very strange spectacle at Goodison Park. No fans, of course, as is the case in all football at the moment. And that had a huge impact, I feel, on the game. We know that there's these breaks in play as well for drinks and stuff. So in terms of momentum and that real sort of feel of a football match, yes, that is lacking. But I think it was a really solid performance from the Blues yesterday. Tactically spot on from Carlo Ancelotti. The starting 11, we saw Pickford in goal. Seamus Coleman, right back, captain. Brilliant performance from him, man of the match. Superb. Mason Holgate, Michael Keane and Luca Dean complete that back four. We had Tom Davies and Andre Gomez in midfield. We saw Alex Iwobi start on the left, and we saw Anthony Gordon get his first start in the Premier League and first ever Merseyside derby for him. So delighted, and I think on the whole he did a decent job in there. Talk about being thrown in at the deep end there as well, so credit to him. Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison up top. And I think, yeah, tactics from Ancelotti was spot on. We stopped most of their play. We saw Liverpool create very few chances in the game, and when called upon, Pickford did the business. There was a couple of saves that he had to make from set pieces. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Fabinho late on as well. So yeah, I think he did on the whole a good job. I think that Michael Keane and Holgate were pretty solid yesterday. Credit to Michael Keane. I think I'd have originally, obviously there's injury there to Yerry Mina, but I would usually go to Yerry Mina and Holgate as the preferred back two there. But yeah, I think credit to Michael Keane and to Holgate. They both did a solid job and did what was asked of them yesterday. Coleman, as I said, man of the match performance, kept Mane quiet for most of the game, was solid, a real captain's performance from him, everything you'd want to see from your captain and from players, especially in a derby, and did himself proud. We're all made up for him, and there's been a lot of talk, a lot of fans, and you know, myself at times, I've got to be honest, even questioned whether his better days were behind him. It's not that I don't love him as a player. He's a fantastic player, he's been fantastic for Everton, fantastic human being, but I am so happy for him to continue to prove people wrong that have doubted him and keep putting in performances like that. Delighted for him, made up. So well done, Shamey Coleman. The midfield of Gomez and Tom in the middle. Tom is someone who's always going to cause debate and divide opinion between players. I actually think between fans. I actually think he had a pretty solid performance yesterday. A few reckless moments, a few moments where, you know, you panic a bit. But I do think on the whole, it was a decent enough performance from him, and he deserved and probably should have nicked the winner. Well, that's a bit harsh on him. I don't think he did a great deal wrong. It was a good block from Gomez, unfortunately. But yeah, look, there's no doubt that that's a position that we need to strengthen in, and we need to recruit starting midfielders in the summer. That goes without saying. Gomez, I think, looked pretty sound as well. Obviously, they're not going to be their sharpest and their fittest right now, but on the whole, I think he did well. I think he's going to grow into the rest of the season. And look, largely it's about looking to next season, but it was great to see that performance. Anthony Gordon, as I said, decent enough performance from him. He's someone who can create things from dead ball situations. We saw in the derby, in the warm-up game a week prior to that, an assist and a goal for him. So I think he's one for the future, and well done to him on being thrown in the deep end for his first ever derby at such a young age as well. Iwobi on the left, didn't see enough from him. Again, I really hope that we see improvements in his performances going forward. I did actually feel a bit sorry for him towards the end, because I feel that Richarlison makes probably the wrong decision and should cut back to him. He's in the box unmarked, and he could have scored the winner there. But no, it's someone we need to see a lot more from. There's no doubt about that. Calvert-Lewin, decent enough performance from him again. He's been fantastic, hasn't he, this season? And he did well enough yesterday. Well, the thing that was lacking was a goal, and there was a few chances for him where he could maybe do better. The header towards the end needs to get that on target for me. But not going to give him any stick or anything like that, because I think, like as I say, on the whole, as most of the team did, he did a decent enough job. No doubt he'll be looking to get a goal in Wednesday's game against Norwich. Richarlison was fantastic again, caused them problems throughout the game. He is just such a talent, as we're all very, very well aware. What a player he is. And the only thing I'd say is, as I just mentioned before, maybe sometimes his decision making wasn't quite right. But we had chances. First half, he does that little cutback for DCL, and could he maybe get a touch on that? There were so many chances, and I think maybe the sharpness, the lacking of games and fitness, still not quite being there, plays a part in that. But it's so frustrating, and you think, is it still the psychology of getting a win over the line against them lot? But it wasn't to be. But on the whole, I think we were all pretty happy with that. It wasn't a defeat, and that is something that people have been harping on about. Reds are always telling us they're going to beat us, it's going to be 4-0, we're going to roll you over, blah, blah, blah. And I was sick in the media of hearing before, and I even did bits of media. I did 5 Live yesterday and stuff. Not criticising them at all, by the way. Just people other Reds saying, it would have been better if Arsenal would have won, because it would have been great winning it there, as if it was a sure thing that they were going to win. So as it happens, even if Arsenal would have beaten City, it wouldn't have mattered. There would have been no parties for them yesterday. And it was the youngest ever starting 11 that we fielded in a derby, in a Premier League derby. So that's great to see. And Ancelotti, that is the man I mainly want to talk about. He is the guy that is giving us all hopes and dreams again as Evertonians. I know that people will laugh and go, they've said this again and again and again about in recent years about waking of the sleeping giant. And yeah, we probably have been too premature with getting excited when we've had money come in and other things. But the difference this time is the manager. Carlo Ancelotti, one of the best in the world, is manager at Everton Football Club, and you can see that he's had time to work with that squad over this break due to the pandemic. And what he's managed to get out of that squad of players, who no doubt we're all well aware that we need to add quality in there, and there's a few that will likely be moved on as well. Stecklenburg we saw today. I think Schneiderlin's going to be going as well, just to name a few. There's a lot that's going to be going on in terms of outgoings, I believe, and we know that we need to strengthen. But what he is getting out of that team of players is brilliant in such a short period of time as well. I think Europe is going to be just a bit too far stretched now. Teams like, I think we really need to catch teams like Sheffield United, Burnley, Crystal Palace, but there's teams like, and Spurs, even maybe Arsenal as well, who we've seen how mad things are for them at the moment. They've lost both their games since the restart. I think maybe United and it will probably be just out of reach for us. And that top 6, but we'll see what we can do. No doubt we'll want to finish the season strong. That performance yesterday will have given us heart. We've got Norwich tomorrow. A win there would be, see us get to above 40 points, 41 points that would put us on, and hopefully close the gap a little bit on teams that are above us. So I think Ancelotti's going to keep the players motivated, no doubt, and a lot of these players are going to be wanting to stake their claim on staying or being part of his plans going forward. So yeah, but look, Norwich are going to be well up for it, aren't they? They've got a bleak run-in of games as well, by the way, and they're rooted at the bottom of the table, some 6 points off safety. So they're going to see this as a game that really they need to win. That might help us because they might need to, come at us a bit more, and it might leave them vulnerable where we could punish them for that. And yeah, the only thing you worry about is, if they had the games are thick and fast, we know that, and if they had time enough to recover, the come down of playing such a big fixture against our local rivals, are we going to be as up for this one? These are the questions, but I think we will be, and I think we'll see an Everton victory tomorrow. That's by no means underestimating Norwich, because as I said, they're going to be fighting for everything they've got, and they are a team very capable of playing lovely football at times, and they've got players in there, very good players that can hurt us. They of course beat us 2-0 earlier in the season. It feels weird that I'm saying this season, it feels like an entirely different season as kind of expected, but yeah, we'll be no doubt looking to get the 3 points tomorrow. And as I said, Carlo Ancelotti, how exciting it is that he is our manager. the rest of the season now, yeah, let's see what we can do, as I've just spoken about. But I'm just excited for the future. I really am, and it's that man in there that's making us dream and making us excited about what's to come. Given his time to bring in a few transfers, identify the position. Well, not that it needs identifying. It's obvious, I think, where we need to strengthen and where we will strengthen. And it's going to take time. I don't think we're going to see us throw a load of... Well, Marcel Brands has come out and said as well, you know, I think it's going to take time to fix things that have been, you know, messed up over recent years, and financial fair play and all that. We've spent an awful lot of money. We've got huge wages going out as well. So it's a matter of fixing that and changing it. Little but key changes every window is what we'll see. And I think, you know, with the stadium on the horizon as well and all that looks to be going well, obviously there's been out of our hands over the last few months with what's gone on globally. But yeah, it's exciting. It doesn't feel quite right, and we knew it wouldn't, and it feels strange not being fans and not being able to go. It's not football that we would choose to consume ordinarily, but it's the best that we can do. It's, you know, it's the best that we can have right now. And let's just try and finish the season strong. So looking forward to tomorrow's game against Norwich. Hopefully it will be... Oh, it's not even tomorrow, is it? It's on Wednesday. What am I like? I've been saying this throughout the whole video. See what I mean? My head's gone. It's this whole pandemic. I barely know what day, what month it is even. So apologies. But yeah, hopefully it's a win on Wednesday night against Norwich. And yeah, I'll perhaps do some more content if there's anything of note to talk about in the coming days. Otherwise, I'll have an update after the Norwich game on Wednesday night. Cheer, guys. Up the Toffees.